Well, and welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another cast with Trend Following Tyson. And, all right, I know the markets are shot. I know all this. Okay, and I know we need to be trading somewhat. We need to be trading with the flow of the market, because if we're trend followers and we're trying to follow trends are not going to fully evaluate themselves. They're not going to fully set higher highs. They're not going to have as much momentum. They're not going to be as reliable as they normally would be, because the market itself is unsure of itself, and it's, matter of fact, kind of bearish, kind of red. So not a lot of momentum, which means trends will not be, most trends will not be fulfilling, and they won't be as bullish as they have been. So we take note of that, and let's add that into our trading, how we're trading right now. Okay, so with that being said, let's jump into this trend following stock analysis. We had some huge winners from last week. Okay, we'll get into those shortly. Let's take up some trend following psychology mentality, and then we'll jump into that. So this is none other than Richard Dennis. The market being in a trend is the main thing that eventually gets us in a trade. That is a pretty simple idea. Being consistent and making sure you do that all the time is probably more important than the particular characteristics you use to define the trend. Whatever method you use to enter trades, the most critical thing is that if there is a major trend, your approach should assure that you get in that trend. There still is trends, okay? And how have I been making money in this market right now is by testing these trends, trend lines, support levels, and things like that, and kind of still getting inside these trends. Nonetheless, the market is bearish. I know that, but we still have to get inside these trends, okay? When we look back, when the market goes back to its normal behavior, you're going to look back and see trends that you could have bought right now and that are going to fulfill themselves all the way out until whenever the market corrects itself, whenever the market goes back to being bullish or whatever you call it. Okay, so we still have to take our signals. We have to take our signals and block the noise. Okay, just have to take our signals. That's the only thing we can do. Doesn't matter. We know that the market's bearish, okay, so we need to trade smaller, we need to undertrade, but we still have to take those signals. We cannot afford not to take those, okay, because we can take a signal, and it could be the best signal that we take all year. We could take a trade right now in today's market, and the market could correct itself and go back in whatever bullish behavior in the next week or in the next month, but that position you bought today could quadruple itself, okay? That position could quadruple itself. You guys need to take note of that. All right? So let's jump into this. Let's jump into one other thing from Bruce Kovner, and then we'll jump into the trend picture. Whenever I enter position, I have a predetermined stop. All right? That is the only way I can sleep. I know where I'm getting out before I get in. The position size on the trade is determined by the stop, and the stop is determined on a technical basis. I never think about stop vulnerability, because the point about a technical barrier, and I've studied the technical aspects of the market for a long time, is that the market should not go there if you are right. So if the market's correct, our technical analysis, support levels, trend lines, this, that, and the third, the market should not come and touch our stop. So we're not stop hunting ourselves. He's saying don't put your stops right on the ass of your trade. Give your trade some buffer space. And matter of fact, let's look at something. We've looked at this for 2 weeks now, but it's very important, and it fits right into what we're dealing with right now. I know where I'm getting out before I get it. The position size on a trade is determined by the stop. So we don't know our position size yet until we figure out where our stop is. How do we find our stop? The stop is determined on a technical basis. Your technical basis is going to be your trend line, your support levels, your breakout levels, your resistance levels. Those are going to be your technical bases, okay? All right. So the position size on the trade is determined by the stop, and the stop is determined on a technical basis size. So we don't know our position size until we figure out our stop. Once we figure out our stop, let's jump into this. If we're getting into GOGO right now, you're going to probably want to set a stop based off this weekly time frame. You're going to want to set a stop right here at 5. Here's a support level here, bouncing. All right, bounced off here twice. Is that a coincidence? No, it's not. Supports right here, bounced off this twice. Give yourself some buffer space and bring it down to 580 to 575 in this area. Give it some space. So now that we know, here's our technical basis. Technically, this is our support level, technically speaking. Give ourselves some buffer space from our stop, from our technical basis, and then we're at 580. So 617 into 580 is 37 cents. Okay? 37 cents. Now, you have to fit that 37 cents into your position size. Okay? All right? That's why you don't know what your stop is based off what Bruce Kovner's $1 billion advice. You won't know your position size until you know your stop, because your stop's going to be based off, your position size is going to be based off your stop. You understand? Figure out your stop and then place your position size into 1%. Okay? That felt really good. Let's jump into the trend picture, guys. Let's jump into the trend picture. And let's look at DM. GOGO's on there too, but we'll come back to GOGO, and it will be quick because we already kind of took a look at it, all right? Wrong DM. I seen that Canadian sign. Wrong DM. All right? Let me just get you guys an idea of what DM's doing. See, here's the 6 month. Obviously, we're in an uptrend. All right, show you the yearly. We're kind of curled on this. Our number one hitting signal is to buy price when it curls. Bounced off this curl, tried to make a curl, tried to bounce up here, came down, and then look where we're at from here. You can basically draw you a straight line from here to here. Came underneath this, now picked back up above this, and you see the 200 and the 20 crossing. This is huge right here for DM. At 220-day moving average, getting ready to cross. So here we are. I like to watch what price does. It might come into this area. As you see, though, based on that 5-day, I don't want to use that 5-day. So here we are here. You're going to have to use this as support here. Come back to another time frame. Find support. Come down a little bit tighter. Find support. All right, here's your support levels. You see this thing kind of just rounded up, getting back into this uptrend here. So once you've seen this thing kind of bouncing and setting higher highs and bouncing, and watch and see what this happens. It might come near this area here, may not, but that 220 and crossing, this thing's getting ready to have some continuation. So I like DM long for continuation, but just see what happens. Let the markets open and close, and let the markets see where they want to go with this thing, and see if it can establish a bottom in here. It's kind of starting to establish one here in this area here inside 825 and 820 where it's at now. It's starting to try to kind of started to round here, trying to develop a bottom. See, it always kind of rounds and then takes off, rounds and then takes off. So this trying to establish a bottom and getting ready to take off. So DM I like really damn good. GRST, remember I told you guys we're going to talk about a winner or two from last week? Here's one of them. I can't remember all of them. I should have did a better job at taking a look at some of that. What the heck? Second, you guys. I'm sorry. 1 second. What the hell happened to this ticker? I should know this thing by heart because I've been trading it up and down, up and down. RTS. GRTS. Sorry guys, let's go. Pardon me. All right, so GRTS, let me show you the 5-day. Can't get a picture. Let me come out here. Come out here. Come out here to about, what's today, the 13th? So we were looking at this thing on the 7th. The last show we opened up was on like 7th. I took this thing long back here at 1750. Right inside this area. And I was kind of upset with myself because I had missed a bunch of that move already. I was supposed to buy it back here at the breakout and I missed that. But I was able to catch it when it kept continuing. I was, damn, good. Felt really good. I caught it too. Caught this thing as it started to head up here. And right inside this giant candle space. Right inside of here. So I was part of these buyers here. These buyers, see this giant candle? I was part of these buyers here because I have buys at 1750. So I was part of these buyers coming in here and part of this whole little thing. And then I've got a really good move up here, up into 27. So I got about $10 a share back on this thing. And I told someone in the chat, I said, this thing closes below 25.50. And it was giving us on another platform I was using, gives you a really clear, at a really clear support level at 25.50. And I said, if this thing can't hold 25.50, I'm out. I think it was this level here. It just looks really cruddy on these candles for some reason. But anyways, had a really good support level at 25.50 and it didn't hold, and I took profits there. And now this thing, inside of trading, this thing's kind of, it's not a lot of volume in here, but it just goes to show you guys you don't need thousands, a whole shitload of volume to make to follow some good momentum. All right, because the volume will come in later when they realize prices went from $10 to 100. So finding support, GRTS, finding support inside this little area here, and we'll see what happens. I think this thing may go back green. There's a lot of momentum behind this thing, so I don't see this thing cracking. It might just you know, find some support and continue on. So but it came down really fast, came down really fast. Gave no warnings when it was coming down. But so just in 2 days, I mean, it took how long did it take? It took a week. You know, it took 12 days to go from 19 to 27, okay? And then it took 2 days to go to $20. These things go up faster. These things come down faster than they go up, all right? GRTS, I like it for longs. I took a little bit more time there than I should have, but I just had to explain that. All right, NIHD, one of the better trends that we've been following, showing you guys, showing this market's up. I like the way this thing is showing this market's up because the market's quite bearish and this thing is just holding up price really well. So this thing gapped up over here, made a higher high over this, was the yearly high, I think it was, and then gapped up over that, and things just holding up price like a beast up here. So this trend's still intact. I like to see where it comes down. I don't think it will close below 740, but this thing has a mind of its own. Man, this thing could clearly come down to 6 and then be back up over 8 in the next day or two. This thing has a weird way of trading. But it does crack. Like sometimes this thing will crack support levels and other levels where you think that they should hold that. It will clearly crack those levels, and the next day it'll be up past those levels, kind of just really whippy. This thing trades really whippy. But nevertheless, you know, this thing still, you know, trades to the upside. So I like NIHD to hold these levels up here. You know, 744 coming up into this area. So you see like a little slanting here, slanting here. So it may come to 765, 750. It should not come below $7 based on the trend and how prices have been holding up. It should not come below $7. Okay, it shouldn't give a whole dollar back. But this thing's definitely in a beautiful uptrend. So I like NIHD. Let's watch and see what happens. See if they're see if some support establishes itself on here, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. May come to this area, test this, and test this. Should not come way down here, though. May come down here, but technically higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows. I mean, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and could be some more higher lows into this area, or not as far down as here below 740. Okay, so watch what happens with NIHD. We were trading this thing way back here, and let me show you guys why we like this thing. All right, this is the one of the main thing. Look how long. I don't know where this thing is going, but I'm willing to sit tight and see till further notice. That was way back here, way back here. That was when the trend line was below 255. All right, that was way back here, guys. This is how long we've been trading this down. But anyways, we were traded at 255, and look where we're at now. We've like almost quadrupled that 255. This was when we first mapped this thing out. It caught my eye way back here. Look where it's at now. All right, and what caught my eye about it was just the structure of it. Okay, just started to round. Started to find a clear bottom here and started to pick up off the bottom. I said, this thing looks wonderful. I don't think it will, when back at 255, when I was looking at it, I said, I don't think it'd come way up here, clearly, but just from the structure of it, obviously the trend's headed somewhere. We can at least cover $4, $5, and $6. And we've done that. All right, from 255. Took a little bit longer on that than I like to. Method behind this madness, though. RUBI looking like NIHD, right? Curling down here, long curl down and long downtrend, clear bottom developed, and just starting to lift off. And I like this thing way back here. Look how long we've been trading this thing. Trading it we've been trading RUBI since back here, guys. This might be the next $7 stock, like the one we just saw before this one. We're looking at it at 255. Way back here, because it's starting to look like it wants to dig into this, starting to reverse price. If this is the top, prices are starting to reverse down here. This is a freaking no-brainer to get long here, here, and here in this area. If you're looking at the main portion of the trend and you're saying, okay, this trend may be reversing in price from hitting a clear bottom and going back to the upside. It's a no-brainer for you to get long down here. It's not that I'm buying tops and bottoms. I'm just following price. I'm just analyzing price that shows it's made a clear bottom and it's headed to the upside. That's not trying to catch tops and bottoms. That's recognizing that a stock has made a clear bottom, has tested support levels, had bottomed, triple bottomed, double bottomed, and then headed to the upside, having consistent higher highs and lows. That's not trying to catch tops and bottoms. All right? Cleared this level here. Okay? What are we dealing with here? We're just following price. We're not building rockets, okay? Just keep following the signals, these money-making signals, okay? What did Richard Dennis just say? If there's a trend, what is this? Is this not a trend? Of course it's a trend. If there is a trend, your main focus should be to enter that damn trend, okay? What did I tell you guys about buying trend lines last week? There's a trend line clearly from here to here on RUBI. I was long this thing, and when it started doing this, unfolding, I was unsure because it started setting lower lows, okay? But nevertheless, it came into this kind of triangled here. Price is kind of triangled here. Oops. Price is kind of triangled from here, and then it triangled into here. And then this was a clear trend line, testing the trend line, testing the trend line. We were supposed to buy these and test the market. Let's say, okay, market, we know you're shitty right now. We know you're bearish. We're going to test you right now. We're going to buy your trend lines. And if so, we're wrong, stop us out. If not, enjoy the ride. And what did RUBI do? Bang, 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 boom. Clearly up to the top of this trend. Of course, this trend's still intact. All right? And this thing set a new 52 today. So this thing's holding up prices very well. Oh, gapped up here, look. Gapped up here. And inside this bearish bullshit market, had enough strength to actually close up here. That means something, guys. I'm not saying buy it now, but I'm saying watch it. Watch for this trend to start to develop another, another pattern that you can go off of. All right? I wouldn't buy it at the top of this range here. You could buy it up there. You know, we buy momentum. If this thing opens up tomorrow and looks strong and gives you some space to buy, you can buy it and get yourself a stop below 430 and then get yourself out below this whole gap up. All right. RUBI. NSTG, I won't be as long anymore, guys, because I just had a few points on those tickers because those are tickers we've been following all year long, not just now. And what a coincidence that they're showing up on our scanners right now, but we've been following all year long. Okay? NSTG, I just like the strength here. I just like this trend. Bottom here, and a bottom here. I like to buy this thing now that it's down here. I like it where we at. So prices came down and kind of closed up on itself. So I like to buy this thing down here and get yourself out a stop below 14. So I like it to really, you know, you can't force your hand. You just got to take what the market gives you. But to buy it in here is the ideal area and then stop yourself out below 14. Even though this is kind of like finding support, but this is your support level. You need to go off of this here. Especially in this market, this thing could easily revert back to this support level. But you know, you get the picture. We're in an uptrend. Buy the strength. Don't ask any freaking questions, okay? Clearly bottomed here at 6. Clearly bottomed here again. Clearly bottomed here, and then there's that angle. When we find these bottoms here, and price starts to kind of get to 2 o'clock, you just buy it. Don't question price. Just buy price. I hate people that question price. I hate people that question price. You know, they always got an answer for this, that, and the third. Dude, you can't question price. You just have to buy price. Can't question the market. Remember CROX from our last show? What did I say? I said buy the trend line, buy support, and we were looking at this thing down here and down here. Anybody remembers our last show with CROX on it? If it was not the last show, it was the show before that with CROX on it. And we showed it in these levels here. And it was down in this level. It was down here and it was down here. And I said, let's buy CROX now while it's up in a clear uptrend. Let's buy these support levels and let's test the market inside this bearish environment. And let's let the market force our hand. If these things are popping down here, they're giving you clear buy signals. Now, whether you take those signals or not, that's a different story. But you have to take your signals, okay? So we took signals here and we took signals here. And look where what am I telling you guys? I said, buy your signals, block the noise. Don't listen to everybody on Twitter. Oh, the market's bearish. Okay, we know that. We still have to take our signals. Take your signal here from continuation. We bottom and then you get continuation. We never got stopped out. Here's the stopping point here. We seen a bottom here and a bottom here. Here's your stopping point. Stay with the trend. Don't trade yourself out the trend. Trade yourself with the trend. You need to stay in this move. Don't trade yourself out of it by putting your stop up here. Trade yourself with it by saying, here's the bottom. You have to clearly stop me out down here. Okay. So we were buying it here and boom, another home run. Okay. Man, I made so many points on taking that signal on GRST. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So many points I made off taking that GRTS signal. I mean, 10 points from 17. Let me make another clear point to you guys. 10 points, and I'm gonna next show I might be able to rally up my buys on GRTS and show them to you guys. Because I still have them from my trading platform. I'll pull those up and show them to you guys. If I buy, let's say I'm just referring to somebody that was on my Twitter last week. I had someone on my Twitter and they're like, oh, well, you're talking about the winners, but you never talked about all the losers. And this, I said, that's not our job. I'm not here to track the losers. I'm here to track the winners. We can't make any money off the freaking losers. The losers should be tapped out at 1%. We need to keep an eye on what's working, on the trends that are still in an uptrend. Just because this thing is down here and the market's just bearish, we're at the low part of the uptrend. Here's the top of it, you guys. Here's the top part of the uptrend, you guys. And here's the bottom of it. Here's the bottom of it. So if we're at the bottom of this uptrend, that doesn't mean that we're out, that the trend is over. We need to be buying the bottoms of, what are you talking about? You should be buying the bottom of this. Testing the market. Saying, okay, market, I'm going to buy you here. Stop me out then. That's fine. That's the price of doing business. But look, if you're buying this trend correctly, trading with it, you're not getting stopped out. It's really obvious when I look at this here and I look at these here, and when we start rounding again right here, it's really obvious that this pattern is going to continue. That you should be buying these. So these aren't losing trades. Oh, well, you lost on GOGO and you lost. No, I didn't lose on GOGO. I'm still long GOGO. GOGO's at the bottom of its uptrend. Now, if GOGO closed down below $5.50 and below $5, then I'm at a loss in GOGO. I'm not at a loss in GOGO yet. I bought GOGO down at $5.50. I can show you. Next show I'm going to show you those two. I bought GOGO here when it started rounding. My buys are at $5.50. My stops are at $5.25. So how is this a losing trade? If I bought this trend, if I listened to Bruce Kovner, like I showed you guys a million times on here, I listened to what he said, and he said to stop yourself out below the trend. So I bought it here when I realized prices rounding like they've been doing. How many times have prices rounded here? Are you guys understanding this, what I'm giving you here? So I bought price here to test the market. Say, okay, I know the market's bearish. Let me test you then. Kick me out of here. And I never got kicked out. And then after I bought it, look what happened. Prices gapped up here to 781. I went from 550 to 781. How is that a losing trade? Because it closed here and here? No. We're at the bottom of the trend. It's still valid. GOGO for continuation. DERM, this is another one that I'm having a little dispute with you guys about. This isn't done yet. This trend isn't over. Here. Of course, we got high. We were trading at the top for a while. Fine, we were trading at the top. Yes, we were. But we're at the bottom again. Here, look. We were at the top here, right? And we came down. So what happened here, you guys? Look, we were at the top, and then so I guess the same people said, "Well, you lost on this trade too, Mister. You got stopped out and you lost." Oh, sure you did. No, you did not. This was the bottom of the trend, and we continued. Bottom of a trend, we continued. Bottom of a trend. Little continuation. Bottom of a trend, we continued. This is normal price action for this trend, you guys. Every trend, I told you guys this a million times. Every trend has its own particular characteristics. Every trend has its own particular characteristics. This trend does this a lot. Higher highs and absolutely buckles on itself. Every single time it buckles. This is not a losing trade yet. This trend is still intact. Okay? Here's your real support level. Remember how weak the market is? It might not hold this and it might not hold that. And it might not hold this. Which is this support level, and then this is a support level here. See how it tried to hold up this area, which is this and this little area here? This trend's still intact, you guys. And to be perfectly honest, you should be buying it right now and testing the market to stop you out below 10. And if you don't get stopped out below 10, actually give yourself some space below 10, because it might flirt with 10 and kind of buckle, but you actually use 10. It might actually use 10 as support, but just flirt with it a little bit and then kind of, put these little candles here. You don't need these candle wicks to bust you out. You don't need these candle wicks to stop you out. You need an actual close below, okay? Not these little wicks here. You need an actual close in price, like this, okay? So, and look, ever since October, since this established a clear bottom, this established a clear bottom, this established a clear bottom, and then look at these higher lows. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. This is this established support. So use this. All right? DERM's not a losing trade yet. When it stops out below 10, then we'll be questioning it as a losing trade. But as of now, these things aren't going to trade as you want them to. They're not going to set higher highs when you want them to. They're going to set higher highs when they fucking damn well please to. Now, if you have the balls, and if you have a small enough position size to sit tight through those things, is a different story. That's a different story. Okay? I like Fate long. It's at the bottom of this trend. It's at the bottom of this trend. Look at this. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. See, you get the picture? We're at the bottom here again. All right. This is a little iffy here because this may clearly come back down into this space. But trying to develop a bottom. You could have bought these. It was clearly a bottom here. See this sliding trend here? Fits this, it fits. You understand? This structure here fits these structures. Okay? It's all the same. It's all an uptrend. It's all in an uptrend. Just because price is coming down does not mean this is not an uptrend. You see these parts here, but where is price actually going? It's to the upside, okay? Means you should be buying support level. So let's see what happens here. I wouldn't buy that. Let me pan out a little bit. Pan out. I wouldn't buy this just yet. I'd wait to see what happens and see if it comes a little bit closer. But you can't. I don't like saying that, guys. You can't wait for price to come to your area. You need to be trading with price. The moment you say, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait for price to come here," the second you say that is the second price trades without you. You need to be trading with price. So actually, I would buy it here and use these as stops. Not too far from 1302. So use 12 as a 12 this area here, and then 12 as a stop. Okay. If you don't want to use it as a stop, you need to be watching price closer. Then you should have been watching price here and in here. Okay. Don't let price run without you. All right. So I just like Fate for continuation. It looks good. Looks strong. Sorry, you guys. I'm a little bit more in depth than I was in the last week, but I felt like I needed to clear some things up and kind of give you guys some jewels and kind of get more into depth with what we're dealing with here. So, uptrend, clear uptrend. All right, look. This is why I don't argue with idiots on Twitter and idiots in other places. This is clearly why I do not argue with idiots. I don't argue with price. If I'm arguing with you idiots, I'm arguing with price, which is something I don't freaking believe in. It's like against my trend following religion. I don't argue with you idiots. And if I'm arguing with you idiots, I'm probably arguing with price at the same time. Because I'm trying to argue with you about why I'm buying price and why I'm doing this, that, and the third, when I shouldn't be arguing. I should just be buying price based on what price is doing. You should just be buying price based on what price is doing. Jesus. Clear bottom here, bounced off the bottom. Right there. Clear, look, downtrend here. Clear bounce off. Look at these. Remember what I told you guys. When you see these really giant candles, it's telling you something. It's telling you a lot of buys, maybe a clear bottom, maybe smart money, maybe breaking out of some area. Break out there, break out there, break out there, break out there. Look at all these just breaking out of this. These guys weren't questioning price. They weren't like, well, Tyson, since you know so much, why don't you tell me? No, they were actually buying price. They weren't looking for idiots on Twitter to argue it or idiots on stock twits to argue it. They were buying price. You're the guy twiddling your thumbs. These are the smart money guys buying price. They're not fucking questioning it, going to stock twits, arguing with everyone. Take your damn signal. In this bearish market, in the next bullish market, and 2 years from now's market, I don't give a damn what market it is. Take your freaking signal. All right? So, I like this thing where it's at. I don't want to buy it here. Like to see it test this. Let's see what happens here. But clear uptrend, trying to find some support levels. You know, you should be buying price when price shows you support like this. And these, you should be buying these. Okay? Support levels. All right? Continuation SSP. TGNA, we're almost wrapped up, guys. I told you I had a lot of stuff to tell you guys. I had a lot of things to kind of get across. All right? You don't want to learn? That's not my fault. All right? TGNA, clear uptrend. Don't argue price. Just buy price. Don't argue price. Just see this downtrend's clearly over with. Down here, bottom tier, and took off. Came back again. So this thing's a little wiggly, but it's still to the upside, all right? Still has some meat on the bones. Still acting, showing, all right, it's over the 200-day moving average, for one. Crossing, the 220 are crossing, for two. Price is in an uptrend, for three. And for four, if you look at this time frame, we're on a trend line, and you can buy it here. You can buy it and use these as your, like a trend line far out, guys. Use these as a trend line for right now. All right? Use this as your stopping area. You could have used this as your stopping area. See this? These little slants. You just have to trade with price, man. Can't argue it. So I like this thing for continuation. Like I said, you can buy it where it's at right now. Stop yourself out below $12.20. Technically $12, and this little 12 is really the support level here. See these little wicks? These little wicks aren't closes. This is your support here. So I like that for continuation TGNA. A lot of momentum behind that. Beautiful trend there. All right. Remember what I told you guys. Minus all this crap and all the noise, I took a signal on GRTS and made 10 points in this bearish market, quote unquote, that I'm not supposed to trade in. That I'm not. If I was listening to you guys on Twitter, I shouldn't buy anything right now, right? Okay. I'm not going to be listening to that advice. I have signals to take. I might undertrade, and I might trade small, and I might trade scared, and I might use really tight support levels, but I'm going to take my signals. Regardless. I can't argue price. I have to trade with price. I can't argue it. I don't care what market we're in. Because I meant to tell you guys a point. So I took the GRST trade, right, this week, or 2 weeks ago, but this week just really flourished, like green every single day this week, besides Friday when I got stopped out. But anyways, 10 points on GRTS. So add up, let's look at, if I had a portfolio right now, I'm along about 7 stocks. Even if all 7 of those, out of all those 7, GRTS was the only winner. Right? None of those are going to match. All those together are not going to get anywhere near all the profits I made on GRST. None of them. Add up 6 of those losses at 1 to 2%, and it's not going to come close to all the money I made on that one trade on GRST. Not anywhere close. As a matter of fact, I had more weight, a little bit more weight in GRST because it was trading better. And I went for the juggler, and I just had conviction on the trade. So I added more weight there. I may have had 45%, 35% of my portfolio inside that one stock. And all the other rest of my portfolio was split up into 4, 5, 6 different positions, but I had most of my weight on that stock because it was trading the best. It deserved most of my weight. So all that trading, I'm green on GRST alone, on those 10 points from 1750, and it's actually, it went up 10 points from my entry. It went from 1750 to 2775, but it collapsed and I took profits to 2550. So that's about 8 points. But that doesn't come anywhere near close to GOGO, DERM, ATRS. All those I'm still long on. I'm still long on ATRS, GOGO, DERM. And I'm still long on those stocks because they haven't collapsed. They're still in an uptrend. So I didn't take a loss on those. GRTS outweighed all that, and I'm green. That's the process behind trend following. You just need, even if you were right 1 out of 10 times, you should be making money. All right, UPL. I like UPL for continuation. Clear bottom here, and we're having higher lows here. UPL. Show you the chart. Okay, this thing making a lot of freaking sense here. See this? It looks like NIHD. It looks like RUBI, doesn't it? It looks like TNDM, doesn't it? Most of my best signals came from this pattern here. Really high price up here, and then just a drop. And then a bottom comes in, and you just buy these. Now you just sit tight. And I'm asking you to buy this now. You can buy this thing now. Don't take a really huge position. Give yourself a really wide stop too. Don't take a really large position and give yourself a really large stop to keep yourself in this. Let that chart fulfill. Because if that chart continues to set higher highs and lows like it's doing, like it's did in the last, see this? From 90 up coming into this area, we're clearly in an uptrend. Right, price is clearly above the 200 day moving average, right? Okay. Well, we're on the yearly time frame. We're on the 6 month. Price is approaching. You know, we're clearly reversing here. Okay, clearly reversing here. So UPL I like for long for continuing. Remember, I told you guys I was long ATRS. Well, I am long ATRS, and it's still a good stock for me because I entered it way back here. Actually, I took this thing way back here. Bring this thing out. September, August. September. Had to be in 309. I think I bought this in 309 and got some continuation. 390. Yeah, I was buying this thing here. I didn't take profits here, you guys. That's not the strategy. The strategy is to let this chart fulfill itself. Not the strategy. It's to say, oh, I bought it here. Let me go ahead and take profits here. No, that's not it. Okay? ATRS, I still like it for continuation. And I like for it to sometime possibly bust through this whole chart. Now that we're up here and we're up here and we got up here, now we're trading up here. It's enough momentum, enough buyers, enough people buying price and holding their price into this area up here to push us through this, to knock that over, and to knock this over. So ATRS, I like it for what it's doing. I like INSG and I like Apoyo Loco, okay? INSG for continuation there. Kind of at the top part of that thing. Looks really wonderful. I like to take it long and take it for continuation. Stop below 319. INSG. I like LOCO. Remember we discussed this last week, and let me show you some things that I like to follow. Stocks, something that shows me a lot about a stock. This. A stock, and inside of this crappy market too, you guys. Inside of this crappy market, this thing gapped up here. Held every bit of 1460 and continued. When it closed above 1490, That was your clue to get long, buy the breakout, sit tight, and look where you're at now. Don't tell me shit about buying new 52s and buying breakouts and buying continuation. Don't tell me shit, because you're looking at it right here. A gap up in price. And oh, remember I told you guys about buying trend lines? What happened there if you bought that, right? If you bought this, if you bought that, and if you bought that, you got a huge gap up. Not only did you get a huge gap up in this shitty market, but you got some continuation on top of that gap up. A breakout that you were supposed to buy at 15 and you were supposed to sit tight and let prices ride on through there. I like Pollo Loco for continuation, but it's doing just a beast. And I like to give this damn stock a round of applause for holding up in this shitty market too. Honestly. We already took a look at RUBI when we opened the show up. Remember I told you guys trend line buying at its best. Buy these things, but RUBI inside this shitty market gave this stock a round of applause. Not one of those bigger names you guys are all used to. I don't trade a lot of really big names. I just trade price. All right. If when I pull up my scans and I got 100 stocks that nobody knows anything about, never heard of before, that's none of my business. I still got to take my damn signals. All right. RUBI just gapped up here and held its price. You were supposed to buy the breakout here, and you can still buy this thing now and stop yourself out. You got to have a really huge stop below 390, 385, but stop yourself out at 3. RUBI for continuation. I like for it to hold that gap up. And that's it, you guys. All right. I know this is a very long show, and I'm sorry about that. I can't help it, okay? Just a lot of information to cram in here. This ain't no wham bam. Thank you, man. So you guys have a good night. Happy trend following. Protect your ass. And remember, if there market's in a trend, you need to get in that trend. I don't care if it's a bearish market or whatever market it's in. You need to get into that trend if it's a trend. I don't care if it's an uptrend, it's in a bearish market. Buy that uptrend. If it's in a bearish market, you might need to trade a little bit smaller. But when you buy that uptrend in a bearish market, and I'm talking about the overall market, you buy an uptrend. Obviously you can't buy an uptrend in a bearish market, because if it's an uptrend, it's obviously bullish. Talking about buying an uptrend in an overall bearish market like this market. If you buy an uptrend in this bearish market, and this quote unquote overall bearish market's turned into a bullish market, well, guess what? You're riding an uptrend inside of a bullish market now, and you're probably going to get quadruple your price. And even inside this bearish market, prices are still may continue. And we've looked at hundreds of stocks that continued already, so don't give me that crap, okay? So you guys keep protecting your ass, keep taking your signals, but we have to take the signal, guys. We can't let Twitter trade for us. We can't let stock Twitch trade for us. We have to take our signals. We can't let these points get away from us. All right? We need to buy support levels, stop ourselves out below, the trend lines and support levels and things like that. We need to test these levels and tell the market, I'm going to test you. I'm going to test your hand. And if I'm incorrect, stop me out. But if not, I'm going to enjoy these points. That's defensive trading. Floyd Mayweather's a defensive fighter. He knocks out lots of opponents. But he doesn't go in every fight saying, I'm going to knock out everybody, I'm going to knock out. He goes in with a defensive approach. But he still defeats his opponent. Let's go into the market with the defensive approach, and let's still defeat the market. Let's still invoke our edge on the market. All right? If that has to make sense, you guys. It has to. All right? So enjoy. I know this is a long show. If you guys don't want to watch it all, hey, that's no biggie. But a lot of information, a lot of knowledge on here. And the jewels I'm dropping on here could possibly get you to this bear market we're in with some green, because I'm green from last week. And markets were horrible. Markets are horrible right now, and I'm still managing to be green. All right, so let's do this. Protect your ass and happy trend following. Okay. See you guys. See you in the next cast, and we'll be ready for the next week.